Welcome to Planning Face Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight for another amazing episode. I apologize if there is any lag. I cannot help it. I need a new computer, I guess, and I am fit to be tied tonight. So we're going to go ahead and record the episode, and I'll apologize if it looks off the way it is. This is episode 71. We're going to be talking a little bit about sealed PQs. We're going to be talking a little bit about some new decks that came out of PQ weekend, and of course we're going to be covering the meta. Joining me on mic tonight is my good friend Alex. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing okay. Saw some cool movies over the past couple of weeks. The 4K re-release of Shin Godzilla is always wild to see. But I'm having fun. I'm ready for. I'm not ready for this PQ. It's in a week. I have no idea what I'm going to do.
Well, I think you should. I think at this point you have to be ready, don't you, Alex? Like that's just the way the whole thing works. If you don't know what you're gonna play, like what are you doing?
I usually just build the deck the day before, so we're just gonna. I don't know. I'll figure it out eventually.
Also joining us tonight is Sam from Too Many Hans podcast. How are you tonight, sir?
Pretty good. We just moved into the new dorm as of yesterday, so we're back on track to make content again.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you've all had a good weekend. This weekend we had a store showdown in Zealand. Wasn't super highly attended. We didn't have 1 million people like some of these other ones are, but we did have our store showdown. I hesitantly played Vader, so there's that. Did not know I was going to play Vader until the day of. So that was kind of a thing. I was going to play Han 4. My son wanted to play, so I let him have the go ahead and have that deck, and then I ended up playing Han 4 or Vader 4 in the PQ. So I don't know. We played against the Sabine Tarkentown. I guess that's a thing now. Again, I don't know, Alex, if you've run into that locally or not, but it's a thing now.
People play aggro by me. Yeah, right.
Well, you say that, but then like I hear the majority of Michigan is aggro, so like they don't all come from the West Coast.
Yeah, they're somewhere more north of where I am. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah, like I don't know. They just must be your small area does not have them or something. I don't know. Either which way, the predictions and the discussion are going to kind of be centered a little bit around that tonight. We are going to start discussing with our meta analysis tonight. All right. So our meta analysis, our Chaos of War, essentially what we do is every week we kind of go through what are the tops, look at kind of some of the things, the whatever the leaders that have won, look at some of the deck lists, and kind of go from there. So as you can see, to begin with, the only one I didn't have recorded was the San Pablo one from today. So I don't know if that one got finished up today or not. Alex, do you know if that one was?
I don't know. I didn't see anything about Sao Paulo, but maybe that was also one of those. It could be like one of the sealed PQs, right? Because they're not going to really post deck lists for all that.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's
I tried.
I'll say only because the only reason I say that is because it. I know it's not for a fact, just because they usually put limited by theirs if they have it. So
I just checked. The results are still not in, so it is still not done.
But in the finals, someone is running a Dad of Old Akbar deck.
In the finals, so that's of that exciting. One,
yeah. It looks like it. If you actually go onto the link itself, which is what I did, it looks like Akbar Dad of Old, baby.
So all right. Well, that's
funny.
That's good news that deck hasn't just completely disappeared, right? Like that was a thing I think that people were worried about before, was that would disappear, and it has not. So
it has Babu in it.
It's hilarious. I love Babu.
Yeah, it's got like Babu and all the R2D2s. Oh, actually, not the 241, which is a little bit more surprising. But it's a bunch of cool stuff. It's cute.
All right, so the first, if we kind of just look at just the top level of the meta, you'll kind of see there in the first slide I have, there's 3 Quinlins taking it down, a Boba Fett Data Vault, and a Yoda, and another Boba Fett, and a Talzin. Then moving on, we have Pelpy, we have a 4th Quinlan, with a 5th one down at the bottom as well. 1 Kira, so look at that, Kira isn't completely gone. A Luke, there you go, a Luke Data Vault,
Luke
another
Pilot.
Boba Fett, yep, Luke Pilot, and another Boba Fett, a Kylo Red, a Han Green, which I'm excited to see that as well, and Anakin Blue, and then a 2nd Pulp Yellow. What do you guys think about the meta so far today?
Well, I mean, it's not like Data Vault really went anywhere, apparently. People just forgot about it when they played in Worlds. Because Boba Data Vault and Luke Pilot, Kira Data Vault making a comeback. People might have realized that the Force is a little bit linear, so there's many ways around it for the Force decks, but good on the Talzin and the Yoda players. And the Anakin, I guess.
Sam, what about you? What is, to me, this looks like a pretty big hodgepodge. I don't know what we consider Boba Data Vault, whether that's like mid-range, soft control, like I don't know what that's like technically considered. But what do you think? It looks like we've got no space aggro decks winning and a ton of Quinlan. What do you think?
It scares me because Quinlan's in my PQ considerations right now, and it just keeps winning PQs, and it feels like Red Hero just keeps winning a lot more stuff in general. When we go to villain, I'm liking Talzin because I think while it was a good deck at Worlds, I am not necessarily sure if Talzin is the best deck in the world right now for whatever. I'm liking Palp Yellow winning 2 PQs, not just one, as like a one-off, took the whole PQ by surprise. And then Kylo Red, I mean, I feel like everyone's just off of the Bothan Network kick right now. But yeah, it is all over the place. And if this Akbar Green wins, then it's going to be really all over the place.
Oh, I would love for everyone to jump right on Akbar Green. Please
so
do
would
that.
Yes.
Please do that.
Let's eat them up.
So the that Danish planetary qualifier right there, which was won by Quinlan Tarkentown. Guess what came in 4th over there?
What's that? Akbar?
No, it's far better. It's Trench Colossus.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't main deck the Annihilators though, but it's it's our trench deck, and I always appreciate that. I love it when stupid things like that go.
I mean, it makes us consider: do we play trench this next weekend?
I'll quit. I'll refund my ticket.
All right, so we've got one win in the book, Alex. So
he's never. Oh man, do you know how fun it would be if Sam played us back to back and we're both running trench?
Yeah. Table 1 play against you. Table 2 play against the other. I'm just like,
yeah,
I'm done. Nope, I'm good.
Akbar did win. It just got reported.
Nice. Good on them.
2-0, it says.
2-0.
It beat Quinlan 2-0. I don't know how that beats Quinlan, but I guess that deck beat Quinlan.
I mean, it goes wide, right? I guess. I mean, you also have Babu, who's definitely not there because he's a 1/4. You could just easily exhaust him for an X-Wing. But they added R2D2, so he's almost useful. It's great.
Yeah, they have 6 R2D2s, right? So
yeah. For some reason, then you go with the 2/4s. And only 1 blue leader and 1 Han and attack. I mean, well, it's kind of wild. Everyone just play that deck. It'll be great. Trust me.
Yeah. Play that deck.
At the PQ.
Yes, play that. Michigan, play Admiral Akbar. That is the deck Alex and I are both bringing to the tournament.
It would be a little bit annoying for Trench, not going to lie. Because they just exhaust their entrenched people and create X-Wing tokens that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
They definitely don't all go away because we play Evacuate.
No, but you could play. We can add Clear the Field in just for that deck. There you go. See, that's our new tech is Clear the Field for Akbar Data Vault decks. Ugh. I guess it works against Vader too. Well, let's talk a little bit about the meta share. We do kind of like an archetype analysis week over week, right? So Boba Data Vault conversion rate is down and his meta share is up. No kidding, right? Like when it does well, it seems to turn around and be up. Then we have Sabine Tarkentown, which has a 90% win rate. Like that's incorrect. There's no way that is correct. That is like that must be the smallest sample size in the world, right? Like 90% win rate.
Yeah, one person playing it.
Yeah. It did win something, but just saying. Gar, it looks like Gar is up a little bit. Win rate went up to 58, almost 59%. Kylo Ren win rate is down again, and its meta share is going down. We're gonna come back to that. Han Solo Blue, same thing. The Force, its win rate is down and its meta share is down and its conversion rate is down. So if you are playing Han Blue, you better know what you're doing because there must have been way too many people playing that deck. Quinlan win rate is up. Its conversion rate is down, which I don't know how that quite works. I guess I'd have to ask that gentleman. But its meta share is definitely up over the week before. Iden, the same thing. Iden stocks are down. Iden's win rate is down to 51%. And I think people, like we talked about this with him and the Kira, right? Like people get very like, what happens with Kira? Kira looks like it's doing well, but like statistically speaking, Kira was not at the top of it as well. The other noticeable one is Lando Tarkentown made the books, but it didn't really win anything. So I don't know if I would say that like it's worth looking at that, right? Like that's obviously a weird statistical number. Once we get down to meta shares that are under 1%, I usually stop caring a little bit for it. What do you guys think?
That Quinlan Tarkentown being 7.8 of the meta share is the highest on that chart there. And after winning 5 PQs this weekend, I wonder if that will go even higher. We'll see.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and so I agree with you. I actually think that's a big thing that we're gonna see is Quinlan. And I think like I don't know, like I don't hate Quinlan. Quinlan has been testing for me very well outside of like playing into some of the crazy force strip your hand decks, right? You know, I find Quinlan doesn't like those very much. Still haven't seen a Kaz Blue show up in here, huh, Alex? That's crazy, right? We talked about that
at first.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We talked about that deck a couple weeks ago. There you go. Is that the deck you're going to bring, Alex? Are you bringing Kaz Blue?
I mean, I could. It's a wickedly fast deck. Haven't really lost with it. I lost a game series, I think, once. I don't even remember.
Yeah, the interesting thing is Vader's win rate is down and its conversion rate is down. So I'm a little like I'm a little surprised by that, but where's the Han? I guess I don't have that figure in here, do I? The Han Tarkentown deck, the Han Fort Tarkentown deck doesn't even show up in here.
Nope. People
so
would
maybe
have to play it.
Maybe that just kind of fell off the radar a little bit too. Moving on to rankings, Kylo Ren somehow is still ranked up there. There must have been enough conversion rate. It still has almost a 61% win rate, right? That's crazy to me.
I agree. I don't see why it's wrecking everything out there right now.
And then if you look, we got Boba Data Vault is in second place, so I think that will be a high consideration. And then look at our boy Palpatine, Alex. Look at that. I heard there's a guy on this podcast tonight that wants to trade me that Palpatine showcase. I'm pretty sure I heard that somewhere. I don't know who it might be. It might be a young kid named Sam.
Oh man,
maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Depends on what's in the binder.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I'll say I heard somebody cracked a PSA case on it. I mean, I don't know what you were thinking of that. I would have traded you straight the fuck up for that one.
Yeah, or
like,
the
that wasn't
iPad.
even a question.
I'm all about that chaotic energy. I was really laughing my ass off when you're just like, yeah, I cracked the PSA 10 case, get the Iden out of there. I wanted to play with her. And I'm just like, yes.
Yeah. It's so bulky. It's like this big. I'm trying to flip my leader. I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to use both hands when I fucking take it, flip it over on the leader side.
Yeah, see, if only Sam was more well-versed in X-Wing podcasts, because we can do the joke of, hey, Sam, I got a Palp showcase. What about you? Do you have a Palp showcase? But you would need to know the continuation of that line.
He does not.
I know.
He's a little too young.
Like, yeah, I got a Palp showcase. Hey, Tanner, do you have a Palp showcase?
No, I don't. I do. Actually, I heard it was coming in a trade. That's what I heard.
There you go.
I heard it was mine was coming in a trade.
Tell him to send it to get graded.
I don't want. No, because then he's going to charge me more for it. Now it's worth less. It was worth more when it was graded. Now it's worth less.
It's 8.5. It's fine.
It was worth the 300. Now we're down to about 175, baby. Like now we're hitting that 175. Maybe 200. Maybe 200.
Maybe.
I'm just saying, like, if you're playing, like, I play Pelt all the time. So just saying. You do not. You're so full of shit.
I do.
You want a Kylo showcase.
That is true. That is
you
true.
want a Kylo showcase. I'll tell you, I do have a Vader showcase. I will happily trade you. So Vader 1.
You tell me all the time.
I have a Vader 1. I also have a Kylo Day 2 that you didn't get. If you remember it, we were both there. You didn't win it. I have that though. I will happily, like, you could trade it and pretend you had my record for the day. And then
yeah, my name's Tanner. Have you seen my melee link?
Come on, bro. Come at me. Anyway, all right, man, you all got me way off track here. Holy crap. Like, it's been a while since Tanner's been that sidetracked. I just hear Palp Showcase, and I think next weekend, like, I'll tell you what, if you trade me that Palp Showcase, I would play it probably next weekend. Even into all the aggro.
Don't trade it, that's what I'll run.
I mean, if you want to borrow my showcase for the PQ, you can. I'm probably not going to play Palpatine.
No.
Okay.
No, maybe. I actually might. I like playing Palpatine. Okay, let's get back on track, because like otherwise we're just gonna be here forever. So
Palp Colossus 55.5% win rate.
Colossus. Oh yes, I know it does, and like it's actually a discussion that we've been having in our group, our competitive group chat, is Palpatine versus Iden, like which is better. And I think Iden is probably better into a heavy aggro meta, whereas Palp is better into a mid-range and control meta. So
yeah, there's no response for any mid-range deck into a Palpatine thing. The Palpatine flip. Because they just can't play bombs, and if you do, you just take it. And then tell them that your bombs are just bigger than their bombs anyways. So they have to play it eventually.
Like, oh, I didn't have a Crate Dragon? Oh, cool, I'll take that. Oh, wait, I stole your Crate Dragon. And then you had to fell it with your own, and then I got to do 4 damage. All right, I'm good with that.
Yeah, how to Crate Dragon for free is just throw something with Palpatine's ability into it and then flip them.
Yep. Yeah, I am actually surprised we saw all that Palp Yellow this weekend, but Palp Blue is ranking higher. And I think that's, in my opinion, that's because of the healing part of the healing factor that you get with it. I actually don't even like Avenger in that deck anymore, to be perfectly honest with you. I kind of just rather play Annihilator. Like, I don't even care about Avenger anymore. Let's just play Annihilators.
Oh my god.
And you see why I flipped over to the Annihilators on my trench deck, where I'm just like, these Avengers aren't really doing much. I'd just rather play Annihilator. Get that right out of the way. Annihilate that Crate Dragon for 11. Don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, so this is so there you go. You can see the in the mid-range tiers, Thrawn is still holding its place. It's moved down to the bottom. It was in the middle of the pack last week, but it's kind of moved that or Poe's going up in usage. I was a little surprised we didn't see more Von Reg coming up after we did our podcast a couple weeks ago on Von Reg. Thought that would be kind of a picker-upper.
People would have to play him.
I know. I'm surprised people are not playing him, I guess is what I'm kind of saying. So I don't know. So all right, so let's spend a few minutes and then we're gonna move on because I don't want to spend all night like talking about the meta that we talk about every week, right? You know, it's like so Boba Data Vault is a thing. And I think Boba Data Vault is going to be a thing going forward. I don't think that changes a lot, right? And I think if we talk about PQs next weekend, right? And the PQs we want to talk about that are happening, not just in Michigan, but anywhere else, I think Boba Data Vault's going to be a thing. Boba Data Vault traditionally dunks on blue-green control to some extent because it can churn itself into an aggro deck if it needs to, with all of its indirect damage, and you're not playing units to absorb it. The question I have is, do you think, and we'll start with Sam and then we'll go to Alex. Do you think that Boba Data Vault does well into this aggro meta that we currently have because it is able to output a similar amount of damage per churn that aggro does through indirect damage? So either you control their board or they're putting it directly to base. What are your thoughts on that?
I think Boba Data Vault personally is the scariest deck in the meta right now. I would rather sit down and face 7 Quinlins than face 1 Boba Data Vault next Saturday, because I know for a fact I have a 50-50 shot against Quinlan. Doesn't look great, doesn't look awful. Boba Data Vault, the amount of indirect that I have taken between planetary bombardments, between devastators, like at general prides, all of these crazy indirect damage things that Set 4 brought out, plus the good events that were already good before, like open fire, okay, take 1 to base because I also killed your Falcon in the same turn. All of these things that were already amazing just got even better when he went, oh, ping 1 to base after I've wiped your board too, by the way. I hate it.
I mean, it's Data Vault, right? So it is difficult for aggro matchups into it, which is why I think it does pretty well into aggro, because it does output a lot of damage. And it can kind of, like, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's off control, but like it has certain things that can control things. Like you'll see a lot of daring raids, which, you know, really kind of hose a lot of go wide decks. And like Ruthless Raiders, Open Fires, Overwhelming Barrages, not necessarily like controlling cards, but it will wipe out boards, especially if they put a lot of their damage on their units. So the threshold to kill them all is not terribly high, which is why like Daring Raid can kill things, or like a Grenade Strike can kill 2 things. And I've always liked the deck. I prefer it over yellow. But there's also like some really cool random ones that are like running like the Invisible Hand, kind of like a Piet deck, where they're just like, well, have 3 copies of HK and your like the droid missile platforms, a droid, your OM series are droids as well, and they trigger Boba. So it's kind of cool stuff. Kind of all over the place. A little bit versatile, but it just outputs a lot of damage and it's got a lot of health. And most decks who are geared towards late game stuff generally can't absorb all the damage early on. But if you can, the deck does fall apart a little bit to later game things. But probably their sideboards help with that.
So if we're countering Boba Data Vault, what are you playing to counter it then? So if that's going to be the meta for the next weekend, what are you going to play to counter it?
Ray Green Force Base. Easy.
What?
Ray Green Force Base. Like Ray from Set 2 with the Green Force Base. Yoda, Home 1, all of the Restore, all of the Sentinel. Soaking all that damage. Just restore 3 on your leader flip.
You know why it has to be the Force Base other than Yoda.
Inherent Warrior?
Sure. Yeah, I was going to say something like really heavy restore things, kind of like a Ray deck. Kind of ironically, my Quinlan deck's pretty good into it because I just pop up the unit that absorbed a lot of the indirect damage and replaced it with something that's also healthy. But I haven't like extensively played that matchup particularly. But yeah, generally anything that's like kind of higher health or is able to control a lot of their stuff, so like their Boba Flip's not terribly impactful, or like ripping cards, the important cards out of their hand kind of thing. So there's ways around it. It's just, I bet like Yoda Red is probably pretty good into it because that tends to have a lot of higher health things, and you could drop things early with You're My Only Hope.
And you have Restore because it's Yoda, right? You know, like
Yep.
Yoda restores, Luke restores, Redemption restores. Those are all main staples of Yoda Red.
And you have Force Throws and probably Pillages if you wanted to go the hand destruction route.
Yeah, definitely the Force Throws. I think that's a big one, and that's why, you know, like, I guess we didn't talk about it at the beginning of the show, but like FFG officially announced there's no changes to the meta. So we're set. This meta is set for the next, what I would consider the next 6 or 3 months, right? Not 6 months, 3 months until we hit November with a new set dropping. I don't think there's going to be any other changes. There hasn't been enough of a shift in meta for them to get rid of Force Throw, and like outside of maybe Data Vault, right? Like, they could ban Data Vault, but that seems a little silly to me. Like, it's 3 health, right?
Wild.
Like, it just seems like it's silly to do that type of a thing. Like, I'm against it. I'll just flat out say I'm against it. So, and you can always run Colossus, right? That has 5 extra health, and I don't know.
Lake Country is 4.
And Lake Country is 4. And we're going to talk about Lake Country in a little bit too, just as an FYI. It's a precursor. Thanks, Alex, for
good
segue. Yeah. We have a really cool deck. I'm insanely excited to demo to you guys. Like, you have no idea how excited I am. I get my Snoke showcase this week, so I will definitely be building this deck just for locals.
And yet somehow I still don't have a Snoke one, and I'm really upset about it.
Well, I'll trade you my Snoke for your Palpatine. There you go. I'm just kidding. All right, let's move on. Do you guys want to cover new lists, or do you want to talk a little bit about sealed PQs?
Let's go in the sealed PQs, I guess.
All right. So our Academy training tonight, which we haven't done an Academy training in a while, so I'm kind of excited to do one. And like, if you're new to the show, so like over the last week, we've had an influx of people new to the show. If you're new to the show and you like what we do, hey, there's a subscribe button right on YouTube. We have a podcast that you don't have to watch my laggy video. I promise I'll fix that soon. Sorry, I just like refinanced my house, so like my money is a little tight right now, because I have a bigger house payment. But we had an influx, and so I was like, why don't we do like an Academy training, because there's going to be sealed PQs, and my belief is that they're rolling this out slowly, right? So there's 11 of them that are scheduled for this set. One of them is next weekend, actually in Chicago. If you are going to it, I highly recommend you share this video with your friends, and I will cut this down to a 20-minute segment so you guys can just have 20 minutes of us talking about sealed PQs. I'm excited. The sealed is the only format that excites me almost as much as trilogy. Trilogies beats out sealed just because I like trilogy's logic, but sealed is amazing. Like, I enjoy sealed so much. I have so much fun playing sealed. I play sealed more than I would play draft every day of the week. I just like it better. I think it's a lot more fun, and I get to I don't have to worry about trading you the cards that are worth money, because they don't work with the decks or the leaders I have, so I don't have to worry about that. And I'll use an example. Last week, we played a draft or a sealed version of set 1. We got some set 1 boxes in at my local, and we played set 1 sealed, and I got a Vader in mine and ended up playing Boba Fett with it. But if I hadn't pulled like a Boba Fett or a Vader or something like that I could play with it, then I would never have kept that in a draft format. So long story short, we're going to have a conversation real quickly about kind of a guide to winning a sealed PQ. Now, we have a video talking about Legends of the Force stuff already. I will put a link in the description with our guide. So I have a guide that Alex built that is public knowledge. You can share it with whoever you want. You know, it's not just for us, it's for all of you, actually. Though I was made fun of at my locals when I pulled it out and was actually using it in Seal or in our pre-release. And I will tell you, I won that pre-release. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, it worked. Other than Maul was better than Alex said he was. But outside of that, like, everything else worked. Like, every piece that Alex and I talked about, like, it worked. And I wanted to do this specifically because I felt the need to, because I think sealed PQs are going to become like a bigger thing. And the rumor is, and I guess it's not like a complete rumor, but Tyler from FFG actually has stated that they are trying to work through a way to create like a world championship where you basically have to be able to run a gauntlet, where you have to play like sealed and draft as well as premier, which is crazy. That's like that. To me, that is the ultimate, like, thank you, Swoo. That is like better than Magic. That is better than every other, like, there is no game out there doing that currently. And I'm working on an interview with FFG to actually talk a little bit more about that in the upcoming months, because I would like to actually sit down with them and have like a half-hour conversation about that, because I'm that excited. Like I said, I love Sealed. And I think that, like, if you want to test somebody's true skill level, can they hit all three of those benchmarks? Can you be a good Sealed player, good draft player, good trilogy player, good premier player? So yeah. So enough with the Tanner rant. Let's get into our Sealed discussion tonight. Tonight, I'm going to go over real quickly kind of the high level piece of it is tournaments for our Sealed. And so basically when you play in a Sealed PQ, your Swiss rounds will always be the Sealed format. You'll get product for whatever the current set is. You're going to play all the Sealed rules. There is no shift in Sealed rules that we know of, except for every round you have to play the original deck that you built. So what they're going to do is they're going to make you fill out a piece of paper with your deck list, and you are required to play that deck for the first game every round. That is the only difference, I think, in a casual format that is not required. It is not anywhere in the rules. I spent, I don't know, like an hour reading the rules, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but I'm 99% sure there is nowhere in the rules where you have to rebuild your original deck in casual format. But that is how they're currently treating it right now in PQ Sealed.
I believe you're right.
Okay. The other thing is all rounds are best of 3. So what does that mean, right? Like, that means you could sub in another deck, right? Like, I don't know how you would have a second deck. I never get 2 decks out of Sealed. Alex, have you ever gotten 2 decks out of Sealed ever?
Not good ones. No.
Okay, there you go. Like, I think you get 1 deck usually, right? Like, it's always 1 deck, and then you can like add a couple of cool things in.
Like, you can probably do 2 decks if like you share a color that's your best color with the other one.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'm sure like deciding the cards, they might have to like limit the sideboard or whatever. I'm sure you can't just swap out whole decks. To my knowledge, I still don't think you could swap out leaders and bases, but unless they said otherwise.
From my understanding, you can after your first game, but like the probability of that has to be like insanely low, right? Unless you just are really that bad at deck building, you built an inefficient deck to begin with. Like my nephew, like that would be my nephew. My nephew would build this deck and then he'd be like, "Oh, I don't have any turn 1 plays." And then you'd be like, "What are you doing, Xavier? What is wrong with you?" I don't mean to drag on him, but it's funny because we'll sit there when we do draft and sealed. I mean, I listen. He'll talk to people, and I'll listen, and I'll be like, "No, Xavier, no, you do not want to do that." And like, I know you're not supposed to help people, but he is only 14, and I feel bad for him sometimes because he'll be like, "Oh, this league is really cool, and I could do these weird things." And you're like, "No, do not do that, Xavier. How many turn 1 plays do you have?" "Well, with that color, I have 2. Xavier, you're never going to draw them. It'll never happen. Don't play that."
Mulligan.
No, stop it, Sam. And then all rounds will be best of 3. Now, here's the. I like that. I actually like
hate that.
Nope, I like it.
Why do you hate it?
I think it's amazing. Yeah, why do you hate it, Sam? There you go. Tell us why you hate it.
Because sealed takes super long to begin with. You have to budget the time to plan your deck. You're playing, I'm assuming you're playing the same amount of rounds as you are to regular PQ. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Then you're playing best of 3. That takes a long time over the span of a day. If you have one opponent that doesn't know what some of your cards do because he's not insanely well versed in the set, which at a PQ level might still happen, because I get my cards read at PQs all the time because of course I'm running like Criminal Muscle in the weirdest decks. But they're like, what does this do? And they look at it, they have to read it. Okay, think about how long that's going to take throughout the day. You're going to be getting out 9, 10 at night, depending on what time these things start. We have drives, so it's like I have to drive to Detroit, which is 2 to 3 hours away. So by that logic, I'm getting home at like 1 or 2 a.m. in the morning because people don't know what my cards do, because I have to take a long time to do sealed and build the deck, all that stuff. That just, best of 1 seems like perfectly fine if you're playing at a correct skill level. For me, I could be entirely wrong, and I can already tell by the head shakes I'm getting outvoted here. But
I wouldn't want to do a
I don't know.
PQ entirely determined by the first hand that I drew.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it's not like it's sealed at the very beginning of the thing, right? Like at a PQ, you expect like a certain level of familiarity. You know, granted, that's not always the case. I understand that, but I think you tack on like an extra 40 minutes. But I also think rounds go a lot shorter because you only have like 30 cards, whatever. So your average like game length, I have never seen a best of 3 sealed ever go to time. You generally just can't stall out your opponent like that. You just don't have the cards, or they don't exist in the set. Like I can't super laser blast the board, right? So it's not like it's a total game reset. There's not a lot of like in this one. There's not a lot of like healing, right? So games aren't going super crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes games just end really fast.
Yeah, except for yours, Alex. You told us you go like 8 rounds in your sealed. I never go 8 rounds.
The games still end fast. We're just, going back and forth real easy. I don't see how you guys finish in like 6 resources. That's wild to me.
So I'll piggyback and then we're gonna move on. I don't want to spend too long pushing Sam into the ground, but the big thing, Sam, about it is like Alex says is your one hand if it's a bad hand, because there's so much variability in sealed. Like having that one really bad hand you mulligan into a semi-secondary bad hand can just be awful. Whereas if you get to do that 3 times, that probability statistic comes down here that you're just going to draw all insanely bad hands. And if you play 3 rounds or three sets of games and mulligan every time and all 6 of them are like insanely bad hands, that means you built a bad sealed deck. That's the answer. Like there is not like an in between, like, oh, you just didn't see good cards. If you drew 6 different times and you didn't see enough of what you need, you did not get a good sealed. You either got a bad sealed deck or you built your deck incorrectly. One of the two. And so the other reason I like it is because sometimes, for example, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, like when you draft or seal or play sealed, like what are you looking for? You're looking for bombs. You're looking for ambush. Well, typically you don't get 7 bombs in your deck. You don't get 7 ambush cards in your deck. And if you hit one of those and the other person does not hit one of those, the variability is so high. It's just awful. So to me, the sealed 3-round format is fine because they're still going to hold us to 55 minutes, by the way. And you can still call a judge. It's a PQ. You can call a judge if they take longer than 30 seconds around an action if you want. I don't recommend it, but you can do that. And you can ask Alex. Alex and I play pretty fast. I don't think Alex and I's games, whenever we've played each other, which I'm hoping to God we don't have to play each other until Top Cut, for Christ's sake, this next weekend. But when Alex and I play each other, we've gone to time once, period. And we play each other. We seem to play each other all the time, it seems. And then it was the same with X-Wing. Like Alex and I got paired up in X-Wing a lot. And it would be funny because Alex would sit there with his hands behind his back pacing. That's what he would do. Just so you know, like he's lucky we sit down now. That's how you could tell whether Alex has to tell, by the way, whether like when he has a really good move or like really good moves all planned out where he knows what you're going to do and he's going to win. the way he does his X-Wing stuff, I probably should not give this away in case you go to X-Wing Worlds.
It's all mind games anyways. It's fine.
But Alex, like, you could tell how Alex, the stature of him and how much he paces and how he interacts with you, like where he's at in his like X-Wing play. Like that's how you know. That's how you know. Like Alex is like, yep, I've got this. I'm gonna fuck you up, or I'm screwed. I'm screwed, and I'm just hoping you don't figure out that I've screwed up and we're stuck here.
Usually an X-Wing is because my back's just giving out, so I have to move, or else I get really stiff. But yes.
Yes, he has to move.
As time goes on, the worse it gets every day.
Like, pacing around the floor.
No, he doesn't do that. It's not that bad. No. All right, so let's move on. So that's essentially Sealed is going to be your Swiss. So whatever your Swiss is, whether it's 6 rounds or 8 rounds, or I guess 9 rounds if you have that many people. My belief is it's going to be a 7-round tournament. That's how it's going to be. Your top cut, though, then after your top cut is now draft. So like you get a whole nother deck. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that because I have a little bit of a qualm with the cost of some of this stuff compared to regular PQs, but we could talk about that in a second. So your draft is going to be top cut. The first thing that happens in your draft is you are not allowed to no longer look at your what you've drafted for your pack. So if you have 15 cards or 14 cards right in your hand and you put one down, you can't pick that card up and look at it again. That is in the actual rules. I literally went through the rules and I was like, holy crap, that was like in blue everything. Like Why? That's a new thing. So you can't cheat.
It slows down the draft too.
Yep. Those are the 2 reasons. So does it slow down because you're on a time limit? That's the next point. They actually legally have like how long you're allowed to look at your cards in draft for a PQ, for a competitive tournament. So like you get, I think it's 30 seconds for the first hand, and then it just progressively goes down. So you get to the last, when you're down to like 2 or 3 cards, you get like 5 seconds, pick a card and move on. Because at that point, they're all shit cards, unless somebody's crazy and just left you something amazing. The other big thing that came out of that is there's single elimination rounds. And by the way, whoever's the higher seed picks the initiative. So that is completely different. It essentially, in my opinion, what it does is it aggressively incentivizes you to do well and not like concede and just take buys during the main event. And I don't know if I agree 100% with it because we haven't really played it yet to know how much that affects games.
Didn't we do that in the PQ in Lansing?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure we did.
Maybe sure that was
just a rule in PQs.
I don't think it's a rule in PQs. Okay. It wasn't a rule in the other.
Could be mistaken. I just thought
we might have done that, but it's not. I could not find a rule on that though. It was only in the section for the draft.
Okay, like I said, there's a decent chance that I'm mistaken. It's fine.
Yeah, I agree with you. We might have done that. I don't remember any longer. It's so long ago. But we did not. How about this? We did not do that in Indiana when I played in the PQ in Indiana. So, but anyway, so you're no longer. You now have an incentive in at least in a sealed, and I like that because like in a sealed, it gets very easy to get complacent. Like, because your deck has more variability to it, like you have less of a desire, right, to play longer and like, oh, hey, I know I'm going to make top cut, therefore I'll concede and we'll just ID and move on. This actually forces you to play out your game a little bit more, which then will make it so that other people will be able to get in. A good example of that is Alex. Alex is a very good example of that. And when we played in the Lansing PQ, because I played every damn round and didn't try to ID the last round, it worked out in Alex's favor that he got moved up into top 8 over Justin. And sorry, Justin.
Justin should have just won more games.
He was very sad. Justin was very sad about that. Actually, I can't wait to hang out with Justin again. We need to plan like a dinner or something like that when after the PQ next weekend. That's what we should do. We should plan a planning phase PQ dinner. There you go. Maybe some Thai food. I hear Thai food. I hear Thai food's in our mix. All right. Anyway. All right. I'm digressing again. All right. So those are the base levels for for the conversation. So before we get into any of the leaders or what we recommended, what do you guys think? Is there any questions you have about the rules? Anything you want to talk about before we move on to kind of like talking a little bit about leaders and some of that?
I'm broke. I mean, I'm a broke college student that has like $500 to last him every 2 weeks. So when I'm looking at PQs versus the one that's $35 that I'm going to have to put a lot of practice into, I lean towards that versus the ones that are like, I don't even know how much a sealed PQ is because I know that you have to buy the sealed entry and I guarantee you have to do something if you get top cut, or I don't know how it works there. I don't know how much it is, but I'm not going to spend all that on top of the drive or trip that I have to make to go to whichever one this is. Like, I'm definitely going to lean towards that if I'm on a budget. So.
Now, I will challenge you. I'm going to challenge you for a second here. The guy that decides to buy random packs of carbonite, if you stop buying all your random packs of carbonite and your boxes of product, the sealed by at least the Chicago PQ was only $20 more. So I do agree, like there is a price difference, and we should actually talk about that because I do think that's a good point in the conversation, right? Like, are we going to get more pricing for this, or are we just paying more money? I think the difference is you get to keep cards. Do cards give you the value of the $60 or not? Or the $20 difference? I don't know. My belief is as it being only $20 more if you get sealed and draft, and on top of that, so basically you're getting 6 packs plus the other 3 packs, so you're getting 9 total packs of stuff. I don't believe I would say that it's completely awful for the price. Like $20 more is a, in my opinion, a pretty reasonable price for 9 packs of cards. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, kind of just like a little rough because it is extra money for cards that you possibly already own or probably already do, or like if you go out, play competitively, you try to build up the set as much as you could. So it's a little bit of a waste if you look at it that way. But I mean, someone has to buy the cards, right?
Yeah.
And if you're doing a sealed tournament, you know that going in. So, you know, at least they're giving you a little bit of it. Sam?
It's, in my opinion, what I always do when I'm purchasing SWU events is I look at it like the price of a movie. If I'm paying for the entertainment for the night, is it reasonably around, like if I was going or if I was taking somebody else to the movies with me, like $30 to $40 range max. These PQs do that. I can carpool with some people. I can sell the Bearish showcase that I just got from one of those one-off carbonite packs. Thank you very much, Tanner. I can do a whole lot of different things.
$50, by the way.
True. But yeah, like
that's what I'll give you.
For Barris?
Yeah.
80 and we have a deal.
No, 50.
Damn it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I personally, I know you guys really like Sealed. I am open to it. I'm just never jumping at the chance to do Sealed like I am Premier, because I like being able to go, this is my deck. I've teched for this. I've planned for this. This is how I want everything to go. And obviously, when I show up with my Han 1 Data Vault deck and like 0-2 or 5-4 or whatever it is on the day, you just get wiped. That obviously doesn't happen, but I still like to have that confidence going in of, I know what I'm going to do with these lines versus I'm going to show up by 6 packs, get an Obi-Wan leader and all red and blue cards. Like, just cry about it a little bit. I don't know. So, I don't know.
There's a
That's
little
just
bit
me.
of
That's
like, there's a little bit of like quality of your sealed pool, but like I've had like a pre-release, right, where I had 15 force units total across every single color from this set, which is not good because his whole set's built around the force, but I still went like 4-1 because with Talzin too. If I had Snoke, I don't think I would have lost a game. But like, you know, with Talzin and stuff, so it's like you can still do well. Granted, that was also at the beginning of the set where people didn't really know exactly what's going on, but still, like, there's always going to be a little bit of a luck-based thing. But that's just life in card games in general. So
Sure. Well, let's move on to what leaders we kind of talked about were good or bad. And I know Sam has a qualm with at least one of the leaders that we have on there. And I had a qualm a little bit, I think, with one of Alex's leaders. But we essentially, and again, we'll link in our notes, we'll link our original document, right? Like our original document has our original thoughts. Alex does this for us every set. Thank you, Alex, for doing that. So that is like the best thing that he does for the podcast. Like I love every time he does that. Like it benefits me, it benefits you. We do a whole conversation on it, and it's one
that's
of
usually the first time I look at the cards too.
Yeah, it's the best because of that. But so we kind of here's our kind of guide for like leaders. So like we're going to kind of transition a little bit away from the high level and talk a little bit more about, you know, Legend of the Force. We're not going to spend a long time on this just because like in the long run this is not going to be the forever meta, right? Like it's just not. So I don't want to like do a whole 50-60 minutes on it. You can check out our older video that talks about this. But essentially, the leaders, when you're looking at building a sealed pool, the biggest advantage leaders are going to be Talzin, Obi, and Snoke, right? Like we learned Snoke was really good, that he was a sleeper. A lot of people did not believe him to be one of the better leaders in the sealed discussion. And we kind of predicted that he would be. And originally, I had my stocks down on sealed. Or on Snoke, because he did not win anything around me until I played him, and then I won. And then I was like, okay, well, all right. I was a little
making your big units bigger is just really good.
Yeah. And I will say, like, I had to play my last game that I played with Snoke for a pre-release was a mirror, was a Snoke mirror, and you know, like it's the same thing. If you could kill their Snoke before they could kill your Snoke, you win the game. I think that's just the end of the conversation there, right? And
Inquisitor's lightsaber on him, he does a lot of work.
Yeah, he just gives you a middle finger. What we feel is probably kind of an okay, like Third Sister kind of moved down. Her hidden ability did not benefit us enough, I don't think, to make it, and she has a pretty low stat line. Ahsoka also kind of moved down a little bit. Ahsoka is still really good. I still think there's like something there. And I would probably play Ahsoka over Third Sister personally. But a lot of people have found Third Sister is able to, there's an advantage there with being able to play a unit before your other opponent and they can't kill it, and then you could claim and then just move to the next phase. You just keep moving through. Or you're forcing your opponent to not play units, and then you win the game that way. Like if they want to claim and kill the unit you had hidden, I guess so be it, right? Like you still have another unit that they didn't kill, and you get to swing with it. Like there's a million things. So, Kit Fisto, we also found. I think I moved Kit Fisto up a little bit. I think Kit Fisto had a little bit more viability. He has the issue of needing that Jedi. So. Yeah. We will 100% caveat, if you don't pull Jedis, throw Kit Fisto into the garbage. He's worthless. He's just not good.
Like his leader ability is solid. His leader flip's not that great. Yep. Especially if you don't have a lot of Jedi.
Exactly. Yeah. Grand Inquisitor, I moved up a little bit in the chain. I think Grand Inquisitor had a little bit more playability when I play Grand Inquisitor. It's kind of like Jin in a sealed environment. If unless your pool is completely awful, if you have a decent yellow pool, Grand Inquisitor actually hums pretty good because of the fact that like you do have to get the Force where you didn't have to do that with Jin. And like I will say, like Jin felt a little bit better because of that. But Grand Inquisitor also gives an extra negative. And in a sealed environment where you have more limited units and you have more limited people, I do think that that's usually decently good. But if you don't have any top end stuff, you can kill their board, but they just rebuild it and it doesn't do you any good. So it doesn't matter.
I think he's held back by I don't really like this set's pool for yellow. I find it pretty underwhelming. Villain a little bit better than hero. But it's just like you look at like Mace Windu and Caloran back, and then you look at yellow and you have like, I don't know, Vernestra. Like she's okay. like you have a couple good like supporter cards in yellow, but like you can't really just like get a really good strong force yellow pool, I think. And
I would
that's
agree with
an
that.
issue in Sealed here,
Yeah.
is that, you know, all the bases are force. So like you're kind of railroaded into doing that. Because like Marchand Bro is really cool. Nihil Marauders, Auras, those are really good, but they don't generate the force, so they're a little bit at odds with your deck.
Yes. Yeah. And then we talk a little bit about Kanan. Kanan is on the lower end. He's very good if you get a bunch of creatures. If you get a lot of creatures in the 2 colors that he's in, good for you.
Ezra.
Yep.
He's really good with Ezra.
So that works out very well. But outside of, if you don't get that pool, he really just, his leader ability is kind of pointless. And doesn't do anything for you. Avar Chris is good in the fact that she can generate her own force, but she has an insanely late leader flip. So if you aren't able to be a more control-y, mid-rangey style deck against your opponents, Avar Chris is worthless. If you could control their units through like a bunch of ambush stuff, being able to play higher value units than your opponent because you have like a higher value curve, or you get some upgrades that you could slap on some of your units that will just murder them, then Avar Chris is good, because once Avar Chris comes out, you lose the game. Like, that's pretty much it. Like,
yeah, she swings for 8, and that's pretty backbreaking, and she has Overwhelm.
Yeah. So she wins you the game. But you have to get there. And I think that's the bigger thing. Now, I will say, if you get that 25 health base that allows you those 3 force tokens and her, and if you have decent green cards, it'll be fun.
Because it's a mono green deck at that point.
I would 100% play the hell out of that. But I would play that in the Sealed PQ if I have enough green units. But
give me some Oppo in there.
Yeah, like an
and
Oppo.
the ship, the Acclimator ship or whatever that is.
Yeah, I got like
pulled like
3 of them.
Oh, I was gonna say my buddy pulled like 2 Oppo and that ship in Sealed, and he's like, do I just do like mono green? He didn't, because that was rough, but like it was pretty funny that he's just like getting all these double green cards. And he's like, it's a possibility. Not so much.
And then in our possibly bad is Cal, and yes, Sam will come back. Give me just a second. We'll come back and have a conversation about Cal. We have Kylo, because Kylo is so dependent on upgrades. I just put him in bad. I just don't think Kylo's good unless you get a bunch of upgrades. Barris is kind of the same thing, and kind of Anakin. Like, we originally thought Anakin would be a little bit better because you could play all the off-colored villain removal, and there's just not enough, I don't think, in this sealed pool to make Anakin that viable. I don't think so. And Morgan,
like, events aren't strong enough. Like, creating power is great, but like it's just the other stuff doesn't really compile into a really cohesive deck.
Yeah. And we don't even talk about Morgan. That's a JJ thing.
We tried, man. We tried.
And I think Rey is borderline unplayable. Like, I think you play Rey if you have a lot of red and she's your only hero red, then just play her. But her leader ability does nothing. And Revan, unless you get a million villain unit cards, I just think that Revan just doesn't, like, his leader ability is very good, but he's just not good if you don't have the cards for it. So I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you get 6 Kylo Rens or something, I don't know, maybe that's good.
A couple Maleks, and a bunch of lightsabers, and really good cards in only one color.
And then I put Qui-Gon and Maul in band, and that's only because you have to pull their show. Basically, the only way to play them is to pull a showcase for them. So if you pull a showcase for Maul, play him. If you pull it for Qui-Gon, do not play him.
I mean, still play him because he just opened a showcase at a PQ sealed.
Nope. I want to win my PQ sealed. I do not want to play Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon is not the answer, and PQ sealed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Maul, on the other hand, stocks up in Maul, baby. I love.
Yeah.
You say that. I went undefeated with Maul, so.
You can go undefeated with Morgan. Doesn't make her good.
I disagree a little bit. If I went undefeated with Morgan, I'd be toting Morgan's capabilities. But all right, so Sam, let's talk a little bit about Cal, and then we're gonna kind of move on to a few basics, things that we can cover, and then we're gonna close out the topic. But we put Cal in possibly bad. Cal has horrible stats. You have to have a lot of force units to be able to get the force to use his ability. We found that you do not get, like, I played 4 sealed events for Legends of the Force and did not have enough stuff to build around Cal.
Yeah, I mean, I will give you that. You need the right yellow and blue 2 drops, 3 drops, 1000%. But if you pull 1 Secretive Sage, 1 Mysterious Hermit, and you fill the rest, boom, I'd run Cal right there. If you pull 2 of either of those 2, boom, I'd run that right there. Cal for a 4 drop, 3/4, not great. If you played him in Premier, he is getting open fired and you just concede. Like, there's just not much you can really do in that game. But when you're playing in Sealed, you're playing against limited card pools of what both players get. You're playing with not great cards usually. Like, you want to play an Ezra on 3, or I can't even say a good yellow 3 drop that's in this set, because I don't really think there's almost any good yellow in this set. But you need the right blue. It's like Chancellor Palpatine right now. Where is that?
It was like Vernestra is an okay 3 drop, but doesn't work super well with Cal because you need to spend the force to bring her up. I guess you can swing after and then try to exhaust, but that's a lot of plays before your opponent exhausts all their guys.
Exactly. In
I just
Sealed,
don't think he has
I
enough
find myself
impact.
playing a lot on curve. Yeah,
Really?
exactly. I mean, I find myself playing on curve. I find myself playing 2 drops when I need to, 3 drops when I need to, 4 drops for a little iffy this set, unless you're in Green Hero and playing ETH Koth, and then 5 drops and on, unless I'm playing multiple units past the 5 drop spot. Cal works really well 2, 3, and 4. Mysterious Hermit turn 1, you already have the force. They're probably going to swing and get the force back. You play a 3 drop, don't attack with the Mysterious Hermit, claim going into the next.
Youngling Padawan, the one that gives you the force?
Exactly. Youngling Padawan.
Yeah, like, because that's also just, that gives you the force as well. You don't have to ambush in.
Exactly. And then you just basically play out the fact that you can exhaust whatever you need them to exhaust. They're probably going to swing with their lower health units first, thinking that they're going to be defeated, because I know that's how I was when I played against Cal in my Sealed and got absolutely demolished when he then just taps down my leader because I didn't swing with that first. Or, I don't know, Cal is very, very underrated. He is not tier 1 by any means whatsoever. But if you're trying to tell me that you would take Grand Inquisitor over Cal in a Sealed environment, I think you're crazy. I think there's no way.
I would take any of my other 4 leaders over both of them, honestly, but I don't think Cal outputs enough damage to do it, even if you get like a really good yellow card pool for him, which we already discussed isn't that great in this set. I guess maybe I play Sealed differently than you. I don't usually play on curve. I just play multiple units because that's just much more difficult for my opponent to generally deal with. So it's already like a little bit against Cal. If I could just choose my Lothcath to exhaust instead, right? Like something, my 2/6 Outer Rim Mystic doofus guy. I don't know. I don't think he has enough impact.
The Life Wind Sage for 4? Beautiful.
It's probably the best yellow card, neutral card they have.
Exactly. That is one of my favorite cards in the set. Because of Cal, because of Thrawn 1, because of like all the different exhausting that we get in yellow.
Or if they play a unit at all that turn.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like one unit's not going to save the whole deck.
That is true, but there are other units, right? Like you're playing Youngling Padawan into Vernestra, swing with any of them, get that force back. into the next where Cal immediately taps something, deploy, immediately taps something, because you have 3 units by this point that you're getting the force back. You're tapping 2 units in a turn if you're playing the swarm that you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not hard to kill things.
Yep, you're convincing me here, buddy.
All right.
Although I do have a bone to pick with Tanner with the Kylo placement. I think he's at the lower end of probably okay. Because a lot of the equipment is common. And you can shove it in there for when he flips. But also, I guess your games just end at like 6 resources, so you never get to flip Kylo. Maybe that's the issue.
It could be. Yeah, I don't. I did not get ever good pools. I think Kylo's going to be a little lower anyway because he's a rare, right? He's not even a common. So, and maybe that's why it's because we don't see him as much. So,
I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's great. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think he's like in the same level as like Anakin, Morgan, Barriss, Cal. I think he's more on the level with Kanan.
Fine, fair enough. I guess I can concede that point. You could make him.
Yeah, I mean, if Kanan's only good because of deck composition, then same
So
argument for Kylo.
Except for Kylo doesn't come out till 7, and that's the issue I have is because he doesn't come out till 7. It's hard to utilize any of his tactics. Like,
But he has a Sentinel when he comes out.
Sure, he does.
So it slows down the game, so you can actually recover. In theory,
Maybe. If I'm just playing hero, I'm just going space, baby, and it sucks to be you. Like, all right, whatever. I'll just drop 3 space units and.
Okay, well, they'll all swing for 1 because the space in this game is garbage in this set, but okay. Unless you get like the really good mid-range hero ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I have not found, especially because if I have that ravenous 8-eyed beast guy, right? I could drop that on 5.
Ranthar?
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. 5, is it 5 or 6? I could drop it on 5 or 6.
You talking about.
Well, it's an 8/5 unit. If you don't have a way to kill it right away, like it's just boom. It's just gonna like oh no, your Kylo's there. I'll just kill your Kylo with this unit.
Oh, the Ravenous Rathtar.
Yeah,
and 5 for 6.
Yeah, like whatever. Like you have to kill it before you drop your Kylo, and so I don't know. I only played against one Kylo, and it did not seem very good. So I'm gonna stick with my guns and say if you get an amazing throw shit in your discard pile deck and a control deck, then go ahead. But I don't know if I agree that he's gonna shine. But
again, would rather take Talzin.
No, yeah, 100%
for sure. But sometimes Blue Villain is your best fool, and you don't open a Talzin.
All right, let's talk about some of the key points, and then we're going to wrap this up because I think the big thing is you can watch our other segment that talks a little bit more in depth about LOF. And if you guys really want us to, like, we could do a more in depth where we talk about some of the cards and maybe like Alex and I could build something together and play each other on webcam. We could do that if you wanted. But for now, I think the big thing is leaders with raw stats are usually good. The deploy cost of your leader is always like a high consideration. Like I don't want to wait till 8 resources to deploy AFR credits if I don't have to, or 9 resources now. There's that type of a thing. Whereas like Cal comes out at 3 or 4 resources, which is great, right? Except for he doesn't have a leader ability if you don't have the way to get the force. So he just doesn't do anything. And he's just a 3/4 that dies to everything. Like everything. And then the other big thing is how do you build to curve? How many turn 1 plays you have? Like that's a big thing. Like my nephew likes to build with like 6 turn 1 plays and call it a day. And that's just not how you build the sealed deck. And
theoretically 6 ain't too bad in a 30 card deck because that's 1 for every 5 cards, so technically it should be okay.
It should be okay. But it never works for him. So yeah. The other thing is what are your bombs? Are your bombs amazing? Is that something like, does your bombs have ambush on top of that, right? Did you pull a bunch of Qui-Gons? Did you pull a bunch of Depas? Like in the other sets it was Plo Koon, right? Like we all very underestimated Plo Koon in Sealed. A lot of people did, and we're like, we don't want that guy. And it's like, no, Plo Koon was amazing in Sealed. for that. I love that set, actually. We should go back and play that set again. Anyway,
Twilight.
yes, I love that. I
Twilight?
love sealed versions of that set. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, they've been pretty good designing their sealed. Actually, I think this set is the worst one that I've played for sealed out of
Yeah.
any of the other 5. Just because you're so railroaded by that force mechanic, so you lack a lot of flexibility.
And that while they did work to build a lot of force mechanics into their units, I still don't think it's as robust as it could be. And the problem is if it was more robust, it would break Premiere, you know.
Sure.
And the last point is removal, right? Like, what suite do you have removal in? Removal now comes in a lot more suites than just blue. So, like, you don't have to just play blue to get removal. The red has removal. Yellow has some removal, that type of thing. And I think that's the big thing. Like, when you look at all your cards, what pool gets you the biggest percentage out of all of them? So if you take those 4 categories, what are your bombs? What are your ambush units? Right. And then what are your removal category? And then where's your biggest curve? And you take those and scale that. That's how you would build your sealed deck. And like, based on what your pool is how you kind of build around that. And I will tell you, like, if you pull one Anakin and have no blue churn 1 plays, I don't know if you play blue, right? You know, like, but if you have 4 shatter points, maybe you do play blue because you got 4 shatter points, and you know, like, nobody else has that. And I think that's always a big thing. Like, when we played JTL, I think like Twilight was my favorite sealed format, personally. And I think JTL is the second behind that. Like, JTL, hands down, was so much. The pilots and knowing whether you had a pilot was so much fun.
I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
That's an opinion.
You didn't like JTL?
No, JTL is top of the list. Twilight is on the bottom for me.
What?
There is no way I
Why?
ever want to play a Twilight Sealed again.
Why?
I don't remember which podcast it is, but I listen to all the podcasts when I'm doing my drives. And one of them just broke it down the other day. I want to say it was the Nordic Fleet or the Nordic Takedown. And they looked at the cost analysis of how much each unit costs for what their ability is and their stat line and everything in each set. Twilight was over, like, I think it was double worse than the baseline, which is set 1, and over like triple worse than I think it was last set. I'm not sure, but it was like substantially bad. And I was looking at that like, yeah, I've never really enjoyed a Twilight one, even though I've never lost a Twilight Sealed event. I've shown up and won every Twilight Sealed event I've gone to. That doesn't make it good. That doesn't make it fun. That just means that I got a good card pool. Like, oh yeah, I pulled the Plo Koon and the Quinlan together. Like, okay, cool.
I mean, like, at least the set itself is self-contained, right? So everything's pretty underwhelming. So at least that's like relatively balanced. But I mean, I enjoyed it. Like, trying to go for coordinate a lot more than exploit. Exploit was pretty rough and sealed.
Yeah.
I think Tanner just really liked playing Ahsoka.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I like Ahsoka. It was fun. She is Ahsoka. I don't know. That's my favorite time era in Star Wars for the most part. So, all right. Well, I think that kind of wraps up. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about Sealed and Draft, or we can kind of move on to some cool lists?
Yeah, I mean, if everyone wants, I guess I can like add the uncommon and commons into that sheet, because originally we didn't have that, because I mean, you can listen to us talk about 300 cards for an hour if you really want, but generally, like, you can probably evaluate on your own if this card is worth playing in your deck. But I can do it if you really want.
All right. If you want that, let us know in the comments, and I will tell Alex he has to do it. So, there you go.
It's just gonna be me. I'm gonna be on YouTube just putting like 500 comments on all the different Planning Phase Syndicate videos, being like, "Yes, I want this."
That's fine, honestly. If you're doing all that helps.
Yeah. You do all the work, Sam. Yeah, make our videos go viral. All right. So let's move on. The last segment I wanted to talk about tonight was lists. I am going to cover the first list. I'm just forewarning you guys. Like, I'm very excited about this list. I hope Mike builds this list and plays it this week. Because I don't know, I might build this list and play it. Like, I love Snoke.
Okay.
I'm so excited about Snoke. So let's talk a little bit about some of the lists. We've talked about this before. Like, I never know when to stop doing this, right? Like, I never know, but it seems like the views go up higher whenever we do these like crazy off meta deck list conversations. So these are some deck lists that made top in the PQ that I would never, ever have expected. The first one was a Snoke Lake County list. Like, what? Like, what is this? It's basically Snoke Green, but it's Lake County. So we'll talk a little bit about that, because like, could you just run Data Vault and be one less health and be better off, and then be able to run commands? I don't know. But I saw this list and I played a couple of games online. And it actually did better than I thought it would. I won 2 out of the 3 games. I was insanely surprised by it. There's a couple of weird questions, and maybe Alex has the answer for these. Like, for example, why is Captain Phasma in here other than it's a 5/6? I don't like it.
Because it's higher attack than anything else that you drop around that time. So if you play like a Knight of Ren, you can stack it up, and the next turn play like Phasma for 5, and then choose which one you want to actually get the experience token. Presumably. And also, like, I guess the FO TIE Fighters and the Knights of Ren are also first order units.
True.
That's my guess.
Okay, because I did not understand. Outside of that, that's the one card I just genuinely did not understand. But let's talk about the list. It came in 7th in a PQ at San Paulo, and yes, it was not some 38-person PQ like a Kylo
70.
one. It was like 70 people. So I will say that that's pretty good. I want to know how San Paulo got 2 PQs in one weekend. That's beyond me. Why don't we get that in Michigan in the same weekend? Like, just let me go to 2 at one time. I would take Monday off. I don't care. But this list is 3 first order ties, 3 tie all-ins, 3 of it's Venice, right? Venice, is that how you say that guy's name?
Isn't it just Vene?
Vene?
Because it's VANE and then E apostrophe.
Right.
So Vene.
Basically, he allows you to move experience tokens around. That's what he does. There you go.
Which is really nice in this list.
Yes, he's directly built for Snoke. 3 Knights of Ren, 3 Super Laser Techs, 3 Merciless Contests, 3 Resupplies, 2 Captain Phasmas, 2 of the Ambushing Force Unit Terran X, 3 Overwhelming Barrages, 3 Changing Powers, 2 Traitoresses, 2 Eighth Brother, 3 Palpatine's Return, 3 of the Green Darth Vader, 7 cost, 3 of the Mauls, 2 Quintesson Cruisers, 2 Reinforcement Walkers, 2 Devastators, and 1 Executor. I don't know why, but it's there. It's cool. Like, Merry Christmas. I don't understand it.
Maybe they have a serialized one, so they gotta throw it in the deck.
Their sideboard is 1 Confiscate.
Oh my god.
2 Salacious Crumb, 2 of the I don't know what is
Parliamentarian.
There you go. Yep, thank you. 2 of Parliamentarians, 2 I Am Your Father's, 1 Timely Reinforcement, and 2 Relentless. This deck is wild, man. I am here for this deck, baby. I would say the first thing I would do is dump Lake County and go to Data Vault and include like some other stuff. Like even if you just went like commands, yeah, like give me 3 commands, give me 3 walkers, give me 3 devastators. There you go. Like, I think we've made up almost the whole difference of the card pool right there.
It is kind of weird that they have like 9 first turn plays.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my god. I was waiting for one of you guys to say it. Oh. No.
Like, I respect the old like Grand Moff Tarkin strategy of like just dropping a TIE fighter and giving an experience token on the first turn. That's fine. but like also there's probably other units you can be playing, and you only have 2 merciless contests, so it's not like you're just gonna auto claim the first thing and then drop a merciless.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get most of this.
You would need 3 merciless and 3 powers, right? Like that's a traditional bulk set in a blue that you would run. Like, yeah, could you just run this with Colossus, right, and add a few blue cards in it?
You could do a lot of different things than just having like country.
Okay, but I'm telling you that this made 7th, man. Like, there has to be something. There has to be something here, Alex. Like, you don't make 7th in a PQ with some crazy list that you pulled out of your butt. That does not happen. Like, people know how to. Like, it's not that hard to play against this list. Like, you're playing under curve, except for this list doesn't play under curve. Like, this list has nothing you can upgrade for the first like 2 turns outside of your turn 1 play, and you only have 6 of them that you can upgrade, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nothing else. So you're not even using Snoke's ability. But
and you're relying on having a board that doesn't exist for your overwhelming barrages and craving powers.
Yeah, to some extent, yeah. And I get the Knights of Ren are actually really good. I have Knights of Ren. I've been playing around with them in Iden a little bit, just for the 4 attack power on 3 resources, and it's actually pretty good. It's kind of
Grievous, so you wanted to play the Knight of Ren.
Yes, well,
yeah, they're functionally the same.
They are, yeah, they are exactly the same. But the big thing is like, so what do you do with? I don't also own. I think I only own 2 Grievuses, so like that. There's also that. But I think the big thing is like I don't understand 100% how this deck does what it does. But what I do understand is like if you did move to like some green, like if you did make this a double green, you could use your commands. You could ramp a little bit faster. That gives you 6 ramp cards in this. Though I will tell you, I played against somebody that played a Snoke the other day, and they upgraded their super laser tech. And I was like, why would you do that? But they had an extra resource anyway, and what did it matter? And then they were actually able to take out a 3 health thing of mine. And I was a little sad by that. And they still got to ramp on top of that. So I like this deck.
How this list does well at all. It seems like it would lose to anything playing space and anything going slightly wide.
Red.
Or not even 4 stacks. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it. They must be doing something really special.
Is that one off Executor, Alex?
Maybe. It could be. I guess. I mean, like, I don't. There's so many like gaps where you're not doing a lot, right? Because like your 3 costs are like the Knights of Ren, the Super Laser Tech, 2 Merciless, and then 3 resupply, and you have no 4 drops. So you're like kind of depending on the ramp, ish. I guess. I mean, but not having a 4 drop means I guess you're just playing another 3 and then upgrading it. You're giving it an experience. Sure. I don't know. I just don't quite see it. No. Although it is kind of funny if you have like a reinforcement walker out and like Phasma or something, you can upgrade Phasma because Phasma is your highest attack villainy card. So I guess there's like some sort of weird shenanigans you can do around there with modulating the attack. That's about it. I don't know. I don't get it.
Well, it made 7th, baby. So there we go.
Yep.
All right, we're going to move on. We have a Ray 2 data vault that popped back up in London. I think this is...
Still Joshua Freeman Birch.
Is that what his name is? I thought it was Yeshifer or whatever.
That's his online name. Handle or whatever those are called.
So I think this is his list that was, popular before.
Yep.
Who wants to take this list?
I'll do it, I guess.
Can I ask why we have no Owen Lars and we have Moisture Farmers in here? Like, is anybody going to ask him that question?
Extra health. Not a lot of force units. That is my only assumption.
Okay.
So, yes, Ray Data Vault, triple Porg, double Moisture Farmer, triple the 1 cost non-pilot R2D2, triple C3PO, triple Gungi, triple Mon Mothma, double Yaddle, triple Entrenched, triple Akbar, triple Blue Leader, double Concord Dawn, one Echo-based Defender, double Fleet Lieutenant, triple Sindari, one Tech, triple Village Protector, double Yoda, the blue 3-cost Yoda, triple Resupply, triple Bright Hope, triple Fel, one Chewbacca Pilot, one Rivals, triple Luke, double Ewing Reinforcement, and triple Home 1. In the side, you have triple Aggrieved Parliamentarian, the third Concord Dawn, a second Tech, double Timely Reinforcements, the second and third copy of Rivals, and then a third Ewing Reinforcement. I believe he's also planning on, like, changing some things, adding some things. But, yeah, I mean, he did really well at PQs with this Raid Out of a Halt, kind of spawned it out of nowhere. Very good player. This is the next iteration of it. Seems really solid. I do like it a lot.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me is the one-off stuff is crazy to me outside of tech. Like, I understand the tech piece of it. Like, that's fine. But I do not want one Rivals and one Chewbacca.
One Echo base.
I agree. And one Echo base randomly, yeah. I mean, like Mon Mothma, you kind of filter a little bit more. With the Ewing Reinforcements, you can churn through your deck a little bit more. So maybe the math works out pretty well with the one Echo base Defender. I don't know. But it's still Raid Out of Vault, and it's still a lot of health to get through, and there's still a lot of restore. Plus, it has Porgs, and Porgs are funny to me.
Yep, obviously that's that built-in, middle finger to, all the
Force
control
throw.
stuff and force throw and
Force throw and powers,
like, oh no, ooh,
and you can give it experience to it.
Yep, you can. You 100% can. You can actually play a C3PO and a Porg in the same churn.
Mm-hmm. Or R2D2 and a Porg, and then upgrade one of them.
Yep.
Just like the movies.
Yep. I think you move Owen. I think I just want Owen just for the restore piece anyway. I don't know.
You can't have two Owens out. You can have two Moisture Farmers out.
I guess. I guess.
I mean, your force units, you got Gungi, two Yaddles, triple Luke, and double Yoda, so you don't really have, like, 10 force units?
Yeah.
So it's not a lot of huge composition for the digging 5 cards down.
And the question is, so the Gungi I get because it's a 2/5, like, that makes sense, and the Yaddle allows you to restore, but really Yaddle is not super amazing in this deck because you don't have the ability to hand off that restore to almost anybody else,
I believe it's just Yoda and Luke and Gungi.
And Gungi, yeah. And so, like, Gungi I think is a requirement because it's a 2/5, right? But I think Yaddle could be changed to, you might be able to find something else at 2 health.
I kind of like the Yaddles, just like, because you can upgrade it with a Ray. So it was a 3/5 restore 1.
I guess. I mean, but why not throw Ezra's in here? They're already a 3/5,
Exactly.
What would the Ezras do?
I don't know. It's a 3/5 and it's a force unit. I don't fucking know.
Sure, but it costs 3. Like, Yaddle, at least I mean, yeah, sure. I guess it is also like a 3/5 for 3, but
okay. Yaddle, you could put Ezra's in there instead of the Echo base, and then you can move the Owens or move the Moisture Farmers to Owens, and now you've got 3 more targets.
Yeah,
I don't know what
Owen in this list.
I don't know what one Echo base defender does you.
I'm assuming again it's just like a drop off a Ewing reinforcement kind of thing.
I guess.
Ewing, Home 1, Fleet Lieutenant, like there's all that stuff.
Yeah, and this is also like with the double Fleet Lieutenants, it is built mostly around Rebels, so you get a little bit extra attack. So maybe that's why you don't want to put. Although I guess like Ezra is like a Rebel, right? I don't know.
Well, if you play this, I feel like we just go back to playing Han to green. So. All right, well, let's move on to the next one. The next one came in 9th in Colorado PQ. It's a wedge list. It's a wedge. And the first time I saw Shield Complex, I was like, oh, this is the The 25 health base. No, that's the security complex. Why they gave us two different names very close together is beyond me.
Whole word between them.
Whatever. But still, like it's a Wedge blue, and Wedge hasn't done a ton. We've not seen Wedge do very much. So I was a little interested in this list and thought we should go over it. Sam, you want to go? Why don't you tell us what's in this list?
Yeah, so we got triple copy of salvage. We got triple copy of 9 double R2 pilot, double confiscate, double rebel assault, one off Harris and Dula, which I'm definitely going to talk about because I don't like that. 2 Page Tico pilots, 2 Phoenix Squadron A wings, 2 Resistance X wings, 2 restored Arc 170s, or no, 3 restored Arc 170s. I don't know if I just said 2 for all those. 2 air superiorities, 1 entrenched, 3 blue leaders, 1 Cassian pilot, which I'm hating these one-off pilots, 3 of the piloting Falcon, which is needed in this list, 3 Red Squadron X-Wings, 3 Trace Martinez pilots, 2 Perilous Positions, 3 Red Leaders, 1 Fell the Dragon, 3 Chewies, and 1 Rivals Fall. The sideboard is 1 Confiscate, 2 Covering the Wings, 1 Entrenched, 2 Disruptive Bursts, 1 Perilous Position, 1 Fell, 1 Takedown, 1 Rivals Fall. Oh my god, I hate the one-offs in this list. I mean, I hate that.
I can kind of see like the one-off rivals, but I'm not a big fan of just running one-offs, especially like Hera, which seems like would just be really, really good in this deck. I guess like you don't have. I mean, I guess like the problem with pilots is that you always kind of need a ship to put them on, but like Hera's a 2/3 restore 1 on the ground and as a pilot. So you'd think you'd want to run like 3 Heras.
Oh, for sure. I don't know. These Page Ticos I like. There should be 3 of. Trace Martinez, there is not a world in which I would run 3 of those over extra Heras, extra Pages, extra Cassians even.
I believe
but that's just me.
She cost 1 to pilot. So with Wedge, she is a free addition onto your ship.
Oh. That kind of makes sense. All right, I see it.
I don't actually hate that one too much. I can double check to make sure that she cost only 1, but I believe she was one of those ones that are like, yeah, she cost 1 to pilot, so it'd be free.
Yeah, my favorite thing about this list is the 3 salvage, because I have seen everybody and their mother recently going, well, I'm just going to go and put Porg in my deck because it'll fit in every deck and it'll counter force throw. No, salvage does the exact same thing. It's better, and if you're running green, you have to include salvage. Even if you have like just Concord Dawn interceptors being your only vehicles, great. You still have that exact same force throw, like counter target. You still have the opportunity to get something amazing back from your discard if you're running the right cards, whether it's hero or villainy. If you're running villainy, you're grabbing your Devastators back and doing damage to it. Or if it's hero, you're grabbing your home ones, your other home ones. I don't know. There's a lot of good ships in both sides when you get to later game. You just stall, keep it there, and either get it force thrown off you or play it from your discard in the later with your salvages. It's an amazing card.
Yeah, I mean, like, it is kind of weird to see like a Wedge deck, right? Because there's never really performed well. But like, I mean, Space Aggro can do really well, especially in the force deck. So like, it's a natural kind of counter to that. The Rebel Assault works mostly. I mean, you don't get on the Resistance X-Wing, but like, it's just more damage output. The main deck double confiscate's a little bit strange to me. As is like the double Perilous. I mean, Perilous does slow things down, but like you're trying to go fast, so might not be the best use of the deck space there. It could probably be like 2 more Heroes. I would like another Cassian too, because I think Cassian's pretty underrated. But he's actually decent when you can just play him for cheaper because you're Wedge. I'm surprised also that there's no like prepare for takeoffs, but I guess if you're an aggro deck, that might just be a little bit too slow. But if my opponent kills my ships in my piloting deck, I'm not terribly happy about it. And I would like more.
Mm-hmm.
That's my only like weird thing is like if they just that's how you beat a lot of pilot decks, right? Is you take out the ships so they can't deploy onto them. Much easier said than done. Don't get me wrong, but like control's a thing.
Yeah, I think it's a neat little deck. Like I said, it's not obviously it was under the radar, and I thought it was worth like kind of covering to talk
It's
a little.
cool,
bit
yeah.
about.
I mean, like you don't see a lot of wedge.
No. All right, so moving on to the next one, we have a Leia 1 Tarkentown that made 16th in Kentucky PQ. So I think this is kind of a cool list. Like we haven't seen Leia pop up in a while. I'm a little sad I don't own a Leia showcase. I like this better than the Lake County one personally. But I think this is kind of a cool little list. Alex, what's this list?
Yeah, so Leia Tarkentown. Also, Tanner, if you want a Leia showcase, I know someone who also kind of knows you. So triple 9-nub, triple of the pilot R2D2 and also the unit R2D2. Triple Rebel Assault, double Timely Intervention. Triple Battlefield Marine, triple Green Squadron A-Wing, triple Luke Pilot, triple Red Squadron Y-Wing, triple Sabine. Notably, no Phoenix Squadron, which is interesting. Triple Blue Leader, triple Cassian, triple Fleet Lieutenant, double the White Falcon, triple Red 5, one Red 3, triple for a Cause, and then triple K2SO. Wild that that's your top end is K2SO. In the side, you got triple Seasoned Fleet Admiral, which I love for anyone drawing cards. Double Sabine's Masterpiece, which probably should be in the main deck. Triple Chewbacca Pilot, and double U-Wing Reinforcement. It's a non-Sabine green aggro deck.
Yeah. I like this deck like quite a bit. Like this deck looks really fun. Leia is very fast if Leia gets to do Leia things. If
her units stick, Leia causes a lot of problems. You don't really get counterplay when she swings twice.
Yeah, and I'm assuming Neenub is only in there as a ground unit. Like that's what I'm assuming you're playing him for as a ground unit.
He's one cost, but you can also just shove him in as a pilot, right?
I guess, and I guess you could. I guess you could do that
because like you have Luke's pilot.
True. I am not for the only 2 of timely interventions. I think that should be a 3 of in that deck. Personally,
even with Leia's ability.
Yes.
Red 3.
I don't like that card myself, but I understand. Like, I think I'm the guy that says, why would you run only 2 or like a 1 of? You can just run 2 of. Like, otherwise, to me, there's no point in it. I almost would probably say you could just run 2 Red 5 and 2 Red 3 at the same time and call it a day and just be fine with that. Like they both do their own unique thing. I think Red 3 benefits Leia decks more than the Red 5 personally.
Yeah, Red 3 is really good in Leia.
Because it's a pseudo sentinel when it comes down. Like you have to kill it or it just gives out free damage and it's 2 damage a churn minimum, that
it's
you're
an extra
getting
2 attacks or an extra 2 attack power in 1 attack in Leia's, which is why like I'm shocked they're not running 2 because that's actually a really solid card for Leia.
Yeah, I think that would be a big change. I'm not super sold on that Falcon either. I understand why it's there, but like
if you had the Chewbacca's in there, I'd like it a lot more.
Yeah, like I guess you can stick Luke and like Nina or Luke and R2D2.
All of them.
They can all go into that unit, but I just I don't know.
I would definitely main deck the Sabine's Masterpiece too, just because swinging with it with Leia, giving an experience and pinging their thing for 1 more, and then swinging with another unit's a lot. That's like a minimum of 5 damage from just Sabine's Masterpiece plus whatever else unit you're swinging with, as long as you have a green and red unit out.
Yeah, and there's no that I think that would be, I would get rid of those Falcons and put those Sabines in place of that. That would be my one big thing. I agree with you. And I would almost go 3 of those Sabines. I like those Sabines units a lot, but now you're getting into
red
unique
hero.
Yeah, you're getting into unique units, right? And you have quite a few unique units that you can't play doubles of.
I mean, the Falcon's also unique, right?
Oh, that's true. Well, you only got 2 of them, so you ain't gonna play that. I don't know.
Sure.
I would put I agree with you. I put the Sabines in. I would swap the red 5, red 3 into at least 2 and 2.
Yeah, you could probably take out the Red Squadron Ys. I would actually probably replace those with Phoenix Squadrons, just because indirect super nice and all, but I'd rather have the 2 extra attack power. In this kind of list.
And you do have quite a few ships. I mean, you could consider putting in what are those? The 4-cost ones, the 4-cost A-wings that does damage based on your units.
Oh, the Resistance A-wings.
Yeah, like that. Maybe it's a sideboard type card, but I like those. In this deck, you just have so many spaceships. I really like that. Yeah, this deck has no Sentinel either, by the way. There is no Sentinel whatsoever.
I don't know about this deck. I love Leia. I ran Leia for 3 sets. It was Leia Blue set 1, 2, 3. And I started getting into Leia Red last set. I was like, all right, perfect, viable. No one's expecting it. Let's do it. Obviously, I got whooped because I'm not running it anymore. I think you change 9 Nub and the non-pilot R2-D2 to 3 home ones. And you put in, let's see here. Yeah, the Phoenix. Phoenix Squadron instead of
Why are you putting home ones in? You're gonna go from 4 costs to 8 costs. This person who did this obviously is never going to 8 resources. They just lose. Blue. That's the answer.
You need to have that option in case you get to blue. I just completely disagree with that entirely. But what do I know? I'm not good at this game by any means. I'm just here for fun.
I would not put home ones being board. Not with this setup.
At least, because there's no way you're running a rebel deck without home ones or the big rebels. I completely disagree with that. That's just me.
Yeah, the other thing I think that you don't see in here either, too, right, is the what's that 1-cost rebel unit? The
Alliance Dispatcher?
No, I don't think that fits in here. I'm trying to think of the name of the one that gets rid of Sentinel. What's its name?
Spec Force Soldier.
Yeah. Those feel like a good sideboard card too.
Yeah, for sure.
I like the Seasoned Fleet Admiral. It is a rebel as well. It's cute.
Yep.
It's really good. It's playing Kiatis and all that kind of stuff.
Or Daring Raid. There's no Daring Raids in here either to work with your Tarkin Town.
I feel like Tarkin Town's more just defensive kind of thing than it is it's more reactive than it is proactive.
Fair enough. All right. Well, the last list that we have tonight is a Kaz Tarkin Town. Came in 9th place in Kentucky PQ. You may know him as Magog, but his name is Matthew. He was on our show a couple weeks ago with Han 4 Tarkin Town. I almost invited him back on to talk about this list and why he's running this instead of Han 4, but
he took our advice. That's all.
I thought that it would be fun. I thought this list would be kind of fun to kind of go over anyway, because I like Kaz. I think Kaz is cool. I'm tempted to pick up a Kaz showcase. I feel like I have more set 4 showcases than any other set, though. I don't know. So, Sam, why don't you go over the list? Tell us what's in this list.
Kaz
Tarkin add Town. Home 1 to it, too.
Oh, my God. I'll add the yellow home 1 to this one.
9. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, what do we got? We got 3 cartel turncoats, 2 R2-D2 pilots, 3 Wolfpack escorts, 3 daring raids, 3 heroic sacrifices, 2 jam communications, 3 trench runs. I don't like that. Or actually, I do like that in this list.
They're disgusting
3
in
black
Kaz.
ones, 3 fireballs. Yeah, I forgot that he doesn't gain the abilities. 2 frisks, 3 N1 starfighters, 2 bamboozle, 2 Cassians, 3 of both the pilot falcon and the readied falcon, piece of junk, 3 stolen AT haulers, 3 for a cause, 1 spare the target, and 3 Han pilots. And then sideboard, you got 1 jam, 1 bamboozle, 3 Jedi starfighters, 2 spark of rebellions, 2 outmaneuvers, and the second spare the target. I have some thoughts. I think that spare the target is a sideboard card. I don't think that you ever run that over. I don't know. I feel like this deck needs to be more unit heavy than anything. Honestly, I'd put spare the target back in for bamboozles. I would take out the R2D2 pilots entirely, which I know everyone is going to hate on me for, and put in another Cassian, another Jam, or another Cassian and another Frisk. Daring Raids are great in this list because of Tarkin Town. Heroic Sack's great to close the game. Wolfpack Escort, I've never really liked as a card, but that's a common 1/2/1 drop, so whatever. I think it needs 3 Cassian. I think that's a must in all yellow-red decks. I think Trench Run is great in this list after revising my statement. Fireball I've never really liked, but I don't know.
You can turn off the
What do
ability.
you
It's
guys think?
3/3 ambush.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only like main complaint is that like the Wolfpack escorts, I feel like are the Republic Y-wings are better. Besides the fact that like they don't die to ping, just you put Kaz on a Wolfpack escort and you can just get like taken down or like open fired and die. You put Kaz on a Republic Y-wing, none of those happen. Also not a big fan of the N1 Starfighter when those can be like the Crackshot V-wings and go more lower to the ground. And then move the bamboozles, probably in the sideboard. Not a big fan of those. Main decking for this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden you have a lot less even cards and you can just run Bodhi and just draw a bunch of cards too.
Yeah, I think for me the big one is yeah, those N1 starfighters could become, like you said, they could become the crack shots or they could become A-wings, whatever you want. Like if you want to run Bodhi, then they become crack shots. If you don't care about that, you run and don't care about the Bodhi, then you run A-wings. And we did that in Quinlan. Like we tested that before Worlds. Excuse me, with Quinlan, and like the N1 is a super nice to be able to do 3 damage out of the gate, but like those A-wings live every
It doesn't
turn.
die to Daring Raid.
Yeah, so it's a little harder. I like the fact that I got a 3/2 in space for 2 resources. I don't like the fact that, like it just dies to everything right now. So I do like the list. I'm not super sold on Frisk either, though. Is there do people just like Frisk? It just because he's like a 2/2 for 2? Is that why?
Well, you just defeat an upgrade that costs 2 or less.
I guess, but
which is really nice. That's shields, experience, a lot of lightsabers that were released this set. Other pilots.
I don't know. I'm not sold on Frisk either, but I will tell you the reason there's only 2 Cassians in here is for the same reason he probably had 2 Cassians in his on 4 deck. And you can go back and watch our video if you would like to see why he said he only had 2 Cassians in there. That's my guess is why he only has 2 in there.
Must be really nice to just have like not have to run surprise strikes and stuff because you have Trench Run and Heroic Sacrifice that are just cheaper and do it better.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
I do agree with you. Like you could make this into like if you did something with Frisk, Bamboozled, you could actually, and those N1s, you could actually look at doing you could look at it like, because then you know what you can add then? You can add Never Tell Me the Odds, right? Like that's super good. Like Never Tell Me the Odds fits in
really
this deck.
need it in that deck.
Well, I don't know if you need this or that.
I wouldn't
Put Waylay
those.
over, never tell me the odds.
Yeah, the Waylays are nice also because you could bounce your own things. So if
True.
they ever get like entrenched or whatever,
Mhm.
or frozen and carbonated for some reason, you can just put them back into your hand and then replay them.
Yeah.
Or do like I did at the PQ and just like play the Falcon, swing with the Falcon, waylay the Falcon, drop the Falcon, swing again.
Yeah, I can see your point. If you dump Frisk and put those boss in there,
Bodies.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, what's wrong with just drawing more cards,
Isn't
right?
Bodhi double yellow?
Nope. That's the 3 costs. Sorry, I'm thinking of Boshek, not Bodhi.
Yeah,
My mistake.
Boshek.
Boshek?
Have we been
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
Bodhi this whole time?
Sorry, we were talking
I was
about
like, wait a
Boshek this whole
second.
time.
No, we really mean Boshek. We know what we're talking about. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
don't know the name, I guess.
Yeah, the guy with the sideburns.
Man, I actually like the argument of moving Bamboozled out and moving those N1s and
I just don't know
Frisk.
what Bamboozle does in this deck.
Yeah.
Other than like you can kind of play it for free. I just don't understand like exactly the logic with the Bamboozles. Other than like I guess maybe if they're playing another pilot kind of thing, but like you can trench run something into it and kill it probably better than the Bamboozle.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Well, that is the last deck that we have for you tonight. Those are all decks. Like I said, those are some newer decks. I know Kaz Target Town we've talked a little bit about before. But I thought it would be fun. That was definitely a different Kaz Target Town that we'd seen. And I don't know. I like when we get to cover these weird lists. I think that's kind of fun. Like I don't know. That's just me. Next week we'll have kind of a different episode. I'm doing an interview. Hopefully it'll be out next week with our podcast. But I'm doing an interview with a gentleman that used to work for Fantasy Flight Games and kind of owns his own business. And we're going to actually talk a little bit more about like strategy and like actually building a game and stuff like that. So I have that interview coming as well. We are planning in the future. We'll probably talk a lot about our PQ from next weekend because Alex and I and Sam are all going to the same PQ. Sam, me, and Alex are all running Trench next weekend. So
I'll do it.
Like we're just gonna show up and be the Trench guys. We'll call ourselves the Trench Run. There you go. We'll be the Trench Runs.
Hey, I like that.
We'll get shirts that say that. Anyway, we also coming up on the horizon. We also have an interview with Haley, who brought the Trench deck to Worlds. So she's going to be on our show in a couple of weeks. And I just talked with the gentleman that runs Star Wars Dad that does all the deck tech lists. We're working with him to try to build some sort of crazy deck and have him on the show and talk a little bit about some crazy decks because like his videos are very fun to watch. And he's been a supporter of ours for a little while. So I thought it would be fun to have him on and kind of talk to him a little bit about like deck building strategy and, you know, all that fun stuff. So, but yeah, I'm tired. Anything else you guys have before we close out?
No. Excited for this PQ. I really have to get around to figure out a deck.
Yeah, we already decided we're running Trench, Alex. So,
oh, that's fair. I could run Trench. I do love Trench.
And we hope to God we're not get paired up round one. If we get paired up round one, we're just IDing, right? Like that's just what we get to do.
I mean, we can't say that.
Just double concede. Drop the tournament
record.
All right, we're dropping out of the tournament. We're gonna go bully, and then we're gonna stand over Sam while he plays and bully him and be like, "You should have run Trench. You should have run Trench." Thank you, Sam, so much for joining us. If you have not heard, he runs the Too Many Hans podcast. Though we do have the same amount of Hans in our collection, so he doesn't have too many of them because we have the same amount. But if you have not checked them out, they have a YouTube channel. You can check them out over on YouTube and support their content that they create.
I mean, I'll be back. I'm sure Tanner always loves having me on, so he can just berate me about my horrible opinions.
Yeah, it's not your horrible opinions. It's the fact that you have not traded me your Trench or your Palpatine showcase yet. But with that being said, we're going to wrap up for the night. Thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the flippity flop.
Thanks for listening.
Palpatines for Tanner.